It's an honor to be with you.
Oh,
I
come
want
on.
to tell you, no, really. I mean, I'm very serious about this, and how many years I've read what you wrote is incredible, and everybody else, you've had a great.
People say that about dead people. Do you know something I don't know?
No, I don't.
Okay.
You're going to live for a long time. I can tell that.
I know I am.
Now listen, you're going to break a journalism record that's going over what Rocky Marciano did. He was 49-0. Now you're going to your 50th Super Bowl. This is what an accomplishment.
Well, and this spring, my 50th Derby. Well, the accomplishment is very simple. You stay alive. The guy said to me on the radio not long ago, he said, you know, you're the dean of all greater New York sports writers and columnists particularly. He said, how do you do that? I said, everybody else dies, they give it to you.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Not in you have to have talent. You have to be invited back. I went to one Super Bowl. I could never get approved after the one. But let me ask you about the first one.
Oh, yeah.
Did anybody have any? I know they must not have had any idea.
First of all, if they had any idea, Dave Anderson would be in this group with me because they said we'll have the West Coast. They have a guy covering the West Coast up and down. We'll let him do the Super Bowl. So right there you see it did. No, nobody had any idea. I had no idea, particularly when I saw those empty seats at the first Super Bowl. But a lot of other things happened surrounding that first Super Bowl that were fascinating.
Well, which one, one or two or whatever, if you have to just pump it right out of your head, which one stands out?
Well, it does, they don't stand out, but I'll tell you, I like to try, and it's silly, but I like to do it with writing and everything. If I could pin down the 1 second when this event became what it became, all right? And I think of a game. And it's not Joe Namath, we're number one, we're number one. That didn't surprise me as much as it surprised other people. Only that I didn't think they could win. But when I saw the 13 points, I said, they're gonna at least get 14 points on the board. You know, the defining moment of all Super Bowl games. And look, you can talk about it last year. The guy calls for a pass, and they intercept with a great play, but still, why are they throwing the ball? They got a guy who can run through walls. They're all defining moments. But this was the ultimate defining moments when nobody did anything wrong. The Rams are beating the Titans. The Titans are coming right down to the line. They're going to score, and the clock is tick, 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 tick. And all of a sudden, they're on the 3 or 5 yard line. And they give the ball to the running back. The linebacker named Jones comes up and smacks him. The two of them, it seemed like they were for an hour suspended in air. Now think about this. The ball carrier falls down, forward, Titans win. The ball carrier falls backward, the Rams win. And that linebacker just stuck it to him and stuck it to him, and he wound up like 2 feet short of winning the game. That's a defining moment because they both had the shot. Nobody made a bad play. Nobody did it could be second guessed. These two guys, and they remind me of something else about the Super Bowl, which I always think of as the greatest longevity Super Bowl performance. I know about Montana's Drive. I know about the kid from Montclair, New Jersey, catching the ball off the top of his helmet for the Giants. All these things. There's a plethora of them. You know, they just roll and roll and roll.
Who was the greatest performer in the Super Bowl? Maybe.
I don't like those things for a lot. I'll tell you why I don't like them. There are eras. The game changes every era, whether it's football, basketball, or baseball. I mean, if you say to me, who's the greatest home run hitter, and you're talking to somebody under 35 years of age, you know what they're going to say, Barry Bonds. They're going to say, right. They're not going to even know about the guys I knew about. So you really can't do that with these games. I think, look, you can't do it. The Chiefs beat Minnesota, which I consider the most significant Super Bowl game of all, because everybody thought the Jets were a fluke. The American Football League had to go out and win that Game 4. And Roselle and I talked about this, and he agreed with me, because Otherwise, they were considering a new playoff format. And a lot of people don't know this. They were going to have, they wanted the best team they wanted the team that was playing the best football at the time to represent the American League in it. And so they came up with this device, if they had to, where in shuffling things around, you could have two NFC teams in the Super Bowl. They were so worried that it wasn't going to work. They win it, and they win it. Oh, the Minnesota was really good, and they beat the living crap out of them. I mean, so much so that great linemen on that Minnesota team, I don't want to embarrass them, great ones, were engaging in fistfights at the end because it was so frustrating. So what they did was extremely important. Now, Hank Stram, the coach, if you remember, after the game, he said, "I've invented the offense of the 60s." And it lasted not into the next season. That's what I mean by eras. You can't really do that. You can't define one person as being the greatest ever. You look at the quarterbacks, you got Montana, you got Brody. I'm talking about, you got a lot of great quarterbacks, but I'm talking about guys with unusual achievements. And Eli gets a call in there too, because of the way he won his Super Bowls. And you look at running backs, I tell you, to me, the saddest thing in Super Bowl history, Walter Payton, one of the greatest guys, one of the most spectacular runners in history. Walter Payton didn't get a chance to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl against the Patriots when the Bears were on the 1 yard line or on the goal line. I think that's wrong. The Fridge got it. It was great theater, but this guy gave his whole body and everything else to Chicago. Yeah. So, there are a lot of disappointments in the thing. And also, I ask people today, who scored the first touchdown in the Super Bowl? They can't tell me.
Max McGee.
Yeah, Max McGee. But the point is, they can't tell you because this game has moved so fast, gotten so big, so many names come up, so much bull is written all week long about this guy or that guy or whatever, and so much accurate stuff. It's the volume of stuff takes anything out of it. Look at the MVPs. I mean, there were guys played in this game, to me, linemen. There was a linebacker who won it once, with Dallas. But I mean, it's nonsense. There have been some Super Bowls where the MVP ought to be the offensive line or the defensive secondary or whatever else, because this game is not a prize fight. There's 55 guys or 45, whatever they're down to now on the sidelines, and there's at least 40 in the game. So you can't do that. I get fascinated by diversions, like going to the losers' dressing room or doing it, and I see these two guys, Tom Keating and Gail Gillingham. Gillingham is a guard now. He's a converted center, and Keating is a tackle. They're head, and they're not all as much stunning. They're head-to-head most of the time. Mm-hmm. Gillingham has scabs all over, I can't see them, inside his jersey because he played in the Ice Bowl game. Every time you hit the ground, you're hitting concrete. And those sores didn't heal up. Keating twists his ankle. He comes into the game, his ankle looks like a pregnant grapefruit. And they're going head-to-head. And I'm saying, this is interesting. Because every time a sequence ends where the Green Bay offense and the Oakland defense is going off the field, Keating's got more blood on his jersey or his pants, and it's from Gillingham. Gillingham is looking at him drag his leg behind him as he's going off the field, and he's saying, thank God I won't see that son of a bitch again. Next sequence, he's out there. This goes on all game long. Now, these guys are playing their own Super Bowl. Green Bay's going to win. And there are little teasers in it, but Green Bay's going to win, and I think everybody knows it. Gillingham and Keating are not going to let the other guy get the advantage over them. And it's bang, 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 60 minutes, or that portion where they come together. So a couple of years ago, I called up Keating, and I said, I didn't tell him what I thought about it. He said, yeah, he said, it was really something. I said, what happened when the 0-0 on the clock? What did you say to each other? He said, we never said anything. I turned and walked to the dressing room. We won. He turned, he walked a little slower to his dressing room. I mean, we lost. I walked slowly. They walked faster a little bit because they won. And we never spoke. I said, well, I spoke to him this week about you because that was the column I was going to do. And he said to me, give me his phone number. He said, I really want to talk to him. So I put those two guys. What they talked about, I never found out. But I mean, that to me was, if I have to have a comparison, and they didn't have an impact on the game. They impacted each other. If I had to do a comparison, what those two guys out there by themselves, I think they could have played on a melting ice floe. And the closest thing I can think of it is Ali Frazier 3. Each guy made the other guy be a little bit better than he was. That's what the Super Bowl is supposed to do. Often, in the beginning, it didn't happen at all because in the beginning, the idea was you play not to lose. They weren't playing to win. When somebody got a touchdown and a field goal, then it became a game. But everybody was so cautious, so frightened, Yeah. And that situation, Gillingham and the other guy, that to me, that's what the Super Bowl should be.
Well, you are the man as far as in a number of sports, but you have inside information. I read the book, and I would advise people to get that. We appreciate hearing those reminiscences about
my pleasure. My pleasure.
50 years of the Super Bowl. And Jerry, thank you so much. And we'll be checking in with you again if we're allowed.
Okay, you'll be allowed.
I thank you.